Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Hokey smokes. I've done some small things that were exceptionally minor. I did change this. I moved the things back here. Yeah, I gotta do a lot more work still. Yesterday was a weird day. I had oddness going on in my head, and so the first part of the day I just did the vlogging and watching videos, and then I fell asleep. But it wasn't a gluten sleep, so when I woke up I was fine, and then watched videos some more and did some editing and uploading, and then I also ended up recording some game video before I went out for my walkies. And so yeah, I did stuff, but it was kind of weird and disjointed, but that's fine. You know, I survived the day. I overcame challenges. Definitely a good thing. Well, and of course, accepting inevitabilities. And of course, front-loading of videos, yay! If you could interact with the YouTube algorithms and toss me a like if you like what you hear and see, that'd be cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, if you haven't subscribed, that too would be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, I enjoy comments quite a bit. I read every one, I thumbs up each one I do, which again is all of them. I answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow. It's very cool. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These beautiful and awesome people are literally beautiful and awesome. My disability barely covers my rent, and then that leaves me with, well, I can't even pay for my ADHD meds, and that's with help. I am sinking financially, but these beautiful and awesome people are literally beautiful and awesome people, allowing me to slowly sink instead of just drowning today, and that is appreciated. Thumbs up and thank you. Didn't mean to get depressing, and the front loading of videos is now officially over. Thumbs up. But yeah, I went out, I did stuff, I went on walkies, of course, I thought about things. It was mostly disjointed leaping from subject to subject thought, no real in-depth thing. But even at that, touching the smaller things allows me to work on various bits and stuff in the more organic fashion. So as I think about something to remind myself, and then it's, oh, but I did think about this, so that would, and then I get to move it, alter it, chew it into the proper shape as everything evolves. And that's cool. I enjoyed doing that. Now, there is one thing that I did want to talk about that's still part of all this, but it has something to do with other things as well. Because if you're into any kind of gaming at all, or even just memeing stuff, you know, there's this whole big thing going on. It's not a big thing, it's a small thing, of course, but there's a thing going on in a portion of the internet where they come up with creepy stuff, and one of the creepypasta type things now is the BackRooms, and it's been a text thing for a while, but now they're putting it in games, and they're making actual videos about this, where you clip out of reality. Like you no clip in a game, or you accidentally fall through a floor, or you clip through some of the geometry. That happens, but when you clip out, you clip into the backrooms. And then it's got this whole horrific story. It's like an infinite plane of a slightly damp yellow rug with nasty looking yellow wallpaper on the floors. It's infinitely large halls and rooms going on forever, buzzing fluorescent lights. It's just kind of unpleasant, and as you discover, there are people and not people there, and generally you don't survive if you end up in the back rooms. And a lot of people have been doing stuff about this one, and actually I was surprised by one of them, because I watch a lot of videos, and one of them I was watching is a guy I actually don't watch a lot. He's a fairly nice fellow, he's very innocuous, but there's something about the combination of his voice and the way he talks that probably reminds me too much of me, and so I don't actually enjoy listening to him all that much. Again, it's my wiring, and I understand that. It has nothing to do with him. It's Manly Badass Hero. So if you come across his videos, please watch them. He's a good YouTuber, and he does good videos. It's just the combination of his voice and the way he speaks. I can't point at anything, and I can listen to his videos for, like a whole one, but on the whole, I don't find them entertaining. And again, that's a me wiring thing, and it's all about his voice. So at least I understand when I have issues, and so I know it's a me thing and not a somebody else thing, and can work around it. But he did a LP of a game called like Toilet Rooms, and it's a big, like the BackRooms, except it's one big, large, interconnected, infinite section of restrooms with stalls and toilets, and that's it. You're going through these gigantic maze-like rooms of stalls and rooms, and occasionally when you open up a stall, it does lead to another room, so you have to open up every stall and look at things. Thing is, I've had dreams like that when I was younger and could remember my dreams. But thank goodness I never was able to avail myself of the facility. Something always stopped so that I couldn't, because in the dream, oh boy, did I have to empty my bladder and was looking for the proper place to do so, but never could. Always woke up after going, oh thank God, because I really had to empty my bladder IRL. So joy on that. But I've had dreams like that. Exactly like that, going through the large maze-like things. They weren't abandoned. They were just, hey, here's our public restroom, and it's like the size of a football field with about 5,000 toilets in it, maybe one or two sections of stalls, and it's a maze, and it's, so yeah, I thought that was actually kind of amusing, especially when it was going around, and there wasn't actually any of the, there was some, of course, toilet humor, which lowest common denominator, not all that funny sort of stuff. But even this was done really well. You actually talked to characters, and they had real stories. And the monsters made sense. It was a cheap knockoff joke parody type thing, and it was good. So that's weird. Still, I'm glad that there are people out there that make these things. It is definitely a thumbs up. If I had the ability to focus, I'm either non-focused or hyper-focused, and that's bothersome, but life is life. If I were able to focus just enough, I would like to do actual game development stuff, but I need to get my story stuff done. I need to do these other things. I just want to do all these things because my life is unfocused. Life is life. But one of the main reasons I wanted to talk about that with the whole BackRooms thing is because actually I deal with a sort of thing like this with my Cosmic Horror Pantheon. I tend to try and use the term when I'm referring to universes in the whole Cosmic Horror Pantheon bit, because a universe is not the entirety of reality in a universal area. You have 85% of everything in an is the universe itself. There is 15% of biosphere around the universe itself. So when you're talking about, in this universe here, that's actually not everything in that area. Every universe has the biosphere, and the entirety of that is the So you got the biosphere, the universe, the And so that's why I've tried to do it that way. I haven't so much lately because I've been dealing with settings instead of just broad frameworks. But there are several things that can happen to universes. Bits and pieces will occasionally be knocked off, and that surviving pieces become a part of the biosphere. So the longer the universe lives, the more diverse and great its biosphere is. In the first, couple billion years, there's not much. But then as the universe continues to grow, stuff happens. One of the things that happens, and I've forgotten the word, so joy, but the skin of reality can stretch tight, and then there are two ways that this can happen. Reality can aneurysm outward, and then that little spot there is still a part of the universe, but it's not a part of the universe. You can't go there, and the people that live there can't travel either. Every bubble like that is a warped reflection of the reality within. because inside, because it's already stretched once, it's already prone to another bubble happening, which is a warped reflection. But each time it does that, the whole structure gets weaker, and eventually the whole thing can just pop. And all the bits and pieces of these realities are flung outward. Some of them actually make it out into the Ungabe, which is the space that separates the universes in the multiverse. And there, they're either picked off and eaten by the creatures out there that survive, or they become a part of the Ungabe. The rest of those pieces are the parts that float around, and they're not full realities. They can't be. They're not large enough. They were parts of a shattered and warped reality, and then boom! Lots of little pieces. These shards, or Gataka, Ungataka, are part of the biosphere. And many of them, oh, my phone just made noise. And many of them are such that, yeah, it has enough space for like one reality. Not a full reality, but a reality, like the BackRooms. The BackRooms is not a full reality. It would not work because there's who's powering the things. How much power would it need? Infinite power, infinite this, infinite that. It can't. But in a small shard that doesn't need a full reality, oh, that works. And so it can be an infinite layer of its own. And there are, of course, things that live in these. And you may not normally be able to travel, but just like there's things like gravitational lensing, there's all sorts of phenomena where you can be out traveling and, you end up on a Gataka in a shard in the BackRooms. So cool. As an actual idea and stuff, I don't really find the whole BackRooms thing all that fascinating. It actually leaves me kind of cold. I'm glad that people are doing it. I'm glad that people are engaging in their creativity. I'm glad that there's a lot of effort being put into this stuff because some really good things are being made that leave me cold personally, which I understand. That just means, doesn't mean they're bad. It just means they leave me cold, which is why I'm saying search them out. They're good stuff. So definitely a thumbs up on that. Now, there is a lot more that I did want to talk about. Like, there's a whole lot of things still in the whole Crimson Kingdom and the whole inside-outside. One of them is that I talk a lot about the characters that are the 1 in 1,000, where they had these extra universal things. Your extra universal chromosomes have activated, and your extra universal genes have expressed when you have things like the sight. There are other extra universal genes that can express. On the outside here is literally, like 1 in several million. And even if you do have these, how would you even know? On the inside, it's like 1 in 10,000. On the razor's edge, it's 1 in 1,000. And that comes up, you get people like Old Ray, who's not going to die unless he gets killed. Stovepipe Johnny, who for every 70 years that pass, he ages 30. You've got people that have these extra universal things. They're harder to kill, they adventure, they do things, but not everybody that goes adventuring and does stuff needs to have expressed extra genes. There are all sorts of people on the razor's edge that are just, they only have the sight, because they were born on the razor's edge. And if you're born there, guess what? So they have the sight, but past that, they're just you or me. But they like to do things. The people that live on the razor's edge enjoy the danger of the razor's edge. Those that live on the inside enjoy the milder danger of the inside. They don't understand how we could live out here. It is so flat and boring. And so just normal people go out hundreds, thousands of kilometers into nowhere to adventure, and they have nothing extra to help keep them alive. But the weird thing about that is, of course, smaller groups of people are able to do things like that. If you're just one person and something goes wrong, yeah, you're in trouble. you're in serious trouble, especially if you're out in the wild. You really should have another person, because if something happens, you're in trouble. On the other hand, the fewer the people in your party, the more you fly under the radar. You don't need to defend yourself from attack by giant hungry lizards if the giant hungry lizards don't notice you're there. So yeah, even just normal people, they end up adventuring and looking for stuff just out in the middle of nowhere, hundreds, maybe thousands of kilometers away in an undifferentiated geography with their own personalized layer around them, hunting just for neat stuff that might kill them. But if it doesn't, oh boy. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments. My community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. It's never much anymore, but as long as it's more than 0, that is thoroughly awesome. Thumbs up and thank you all. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I am an American English citizen. American English citizen speaker. And even though I count American Sign Language, well, you've seen how my brain works. Barely, but it does function, and that's a good thing. We have, I cannot pronounce this, so I'm going to spell it. DHAVAFEBRIAN. That's probably, I don't even want to. DIFANTRA. Now that I've said that, I'll go. Now that I cannot speak English, I'm very sorry. Now that I have said that, however, I would say something like Dava Febrian de Fontara? And I'd be thoroughly wrong, but thank you so very, very much. We have Confused Owl 29, greatly appreciated. Ben B, good to see you as well. We have Kapaki, thumbs up, and good to see you as well, thumbs up. We have Flora Mew, definitely a good thing. Oh, I really like the Southern Exit bad guy. In a I don't like them kind of way. You know what I mean, I hope. We have Honor, thumbs up and thank you. Mr. Shiggy Chicky, thumbs up and thank you. And then, this is, yeah, I already did. So 7 people, I got confused momentarily. My brain was hurting me. My sincere apologies. 7 people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. Thank you so much. You get me out of my head, into the world, and dealing with real people, if only in text, and if only for a short time. And that is still very awesome. Thumbs up and thank you. So, of course, with my hands in the air, I do not know where the video description is, nor if you can even watch it on the device that you're watching it on. But if you can, inside I have all links to all my channels, and there are links to like my Twitter, my Facebook, my Patreon, and again, I do want to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These beautiful and awesome people are literally beautiful and awesome. I mean, honestly, my kitty cat is still alive because of these people. My little hamster Ghost is alive because of these people. I think that's pretty bloody cool, and I think that being beautiful and awesome is beautiful and awesome. If you would like to be beautiful and awesome, remember, links are in the show more. And of course, if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, I do have links to the PayPal, and if you would like to help me out without sending money, there are links to an Amazon wish list link, to repeat the word, Department of Redundancy Department, with things like cat food on it. So if you could check it out, that'd be very, very cool. Thumbs up and thank you. Now, of course, let's see if I've done and said this right. Don't feel obligated. I don't feel entitled. And if you can't or you don't donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. I got back on rails. Definitely a good thing. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely thumbs up. And of course, if you could subscribe to the channel if you have not already and hit the notification bell, that too would be very cool. Yay. Oof. Yes, I have more work to do here. I've got stuff to do. I have a video already to go up, the one I did yesterday. So I've got a second video here. I just need to edit and upload a reaction video. And then I'm going to be working more on this. I'm not going to say an incredible amount of work will be done by tomorrow, but some will, at the very least. And of course, with the Covfefe bug a-ragin', please, if you do not have to go out amongst the unmasked, unvaxxed, mouth-breathing plague rats, please don't. If you do, maintain your social distancing, wear a mask, and you don't need to inhale other people's lung butter. Get vaxxed if you can. Get a booster if you can. Get through this okay if you can. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and I want you to think about inhaling other people's particles as drinking their lung butter.